The Dew and the Doritos.
Do you have a problem with Doritos?
For Call of Duty 6000.
You know, there was like a pack left in there
Spirit
after
edition.
Flakmeister didn't come home to eat them, so...
Oh no.
Infinite Warfare 5.
You know, he had like his mini fridge hooked up to all that technology in there.
A mini fridge.
It's my mini
Well, he
fridge
didn't
now.
want to have to leave his room. Come on.
Yeah, that'd be just ridiculous.
I'll be right back. I need to close the window.
Yeah. So yeah, I suppose we see like when Ziegler arrives, does he just sit in his car like waiting, or does he actually drive to pick the others up on the way, or?
I mean, sure. If they let him know where they went, he could certainly pick them up.
You suddenly receive a message.
Oh, sure. He'd like, ugh, fine. Come to you.
And then, like, after you've already said fine, like, a few minutes later, it's just like, hey, we're here.
What's the name of the place?
That you eat?
Yeah. What's the name of the restaurant Ziegler's going to pick you up?
We find out.
What Aztec place did Thymara take us to?
Insert Aztec restaurant name.
Yeah, give me come on.
Let's see here.
Talking to you, Halldamir.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
What? You should know this.
Oh.
It's called the Angelica's Tandoori Chain Store.
Great.
There
By
we go.
that name, I presume
Maybe-
there's one of these.
Maybe they bought up Chipotle or something. That's where you.
They bought up Chipotle. Do you know Chipotles are just like smoked jalapenos? So
I
disappointing.
do, yes. It's delicious.
Yeah.
I've never had it.
So I suppose Ziegler picks you up.
How
How are you all going? I suppose you're going very like in a load 3 to be able to go out and eat, but maybe your stuff is in the car. Like, how do you plan to meet him? What sort of impression do you want to give?
Yeah, I mean, Thymara doesn't take in her gun. If that helps.
Well, we don't know what you have on you, but the question is how much do you have on you?
Yeah, probably. 3. Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely 3.
Yeah. Not packing.
Droids with them though. Those they always go with. So.
Not going into the club with a grenade launcher.
You know.
I mean, technically, he's not load free.
That's
He
for me
could
to
do
know
the
and
grenade
them
launcher
to find out, basically.
Yeah. So the little guy sort of just looks at you, gives you a nod as you near. He doesn't seem to want to stop you from going in or anything. Doesn't seem to have any words. He says, "Welcome to Bohemia. How may I help you? You looking for anyone?" She looks at you, looking at the cybernetic arms and the data jacks and the drones. And...
Did you ask if you were if you were heavy load or what was I missed?
That's what we were just doing.
Yeah. You probably guessed what I was.
Light.
Yeah.
Well, Thymara will smile and say, "Well, we're actually here to talk to the Duke."
Oh, all right. Would you prefer to wait inside? So looks at you. The weather is fine right now. You know, cyberpunk fine. So it's a little cold and grey skies.
Is it also
no
raining?
sunlight. A little bit, just a drizzle. Not real rain.
It's always raining.
Most of the time. Yeah.
Well, Thymara kind of shrugs and looks to the others and says, "Well, I don't mind staying out."
I kind of want to go inside.
I'd rather go in.
Sure.
Sure.
We'll wait inside then.
Open the door for you to enter. In the door, there's a little sort of what do you call them? Like a dressing room, I suppose, where you can like hang your jacket or whatever else you have. Here, there's also like instead of jackets, there's lots of like totems and necklaces and that sort of thing on all the little hooks. And an old woman sits on a little stool behind the desk, just looking at you, giving you a warm smile. Her skin is a little sort of darker than natively German. Perhaps she's from Siberia. She just gives you like a deep nod and seems to really just sit there being very zen with herself.
She already really liked this place. The whole nod. That's right in her. She She nods to all of them. So
Siberia.
does the deep, polite bow.
We of course know that the Siberian Awakened Republic declared independence from Russia, sparking the Year of Wars because Russia now no longer had access to Siberian oil or resources. They have fantastical powers up there in magic. And like awakened polar bears and stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Is it like the Golden Compass?
I have no idea what that is, but
They're polar
maybe.
bears with armor.
You mean
That's what the papers say.
you mean Panzerbjorns?
Anyway, but she says to give you a nod, basically, like probably just like not really. You don't seem to be people who have talismans and the like. You wanna leave with her, so.
How does she know?
So the club generally there's some light music. It's actually real music, not synthetically created, and it's just someone like playing a piano, sort of in a slow tone. There's a few like plants in here. As you enter the main room, the first room, it sort of has a vaulted ceiling, and there's like a lot of smoke coming up from like incense that have been lit in different places. There's like these big round pillows for people to sit on. There is a main floor, and the floor is generally like carpeted with some weaved, so like a lot of natural material. There's no real plastic or like iron or steel or chrome to be seen. It's all very natural and kept in very muted colors and sort of a very strong smell of well, you're not really sure what it is. Guano, something like that.
Guano!
Different places, there's like a raccoon sitting in the corner looking at you,
Oh,
just sort of sitting
no.
there.
Raccoon.
There's
Is
like
it polishing a gun? Like,
Not
exactly.
exactly.
Fuckers.
There's like a man next to it, sitting like eyes closed while like having like a tea hold up under his nose, so the little fumes come in there. You know, the people here look very rustic, you could say. They all sort of seem a little bit dirty and have like feathers or like fur or bones and stuff on their clothes. No one really has the sort of the fine chromed clothes that you would normally see. There's no real armor to be seen. From the other room and sort of looking in there, it seems to be very different in there, more like a cafe. There are actually tables and little chairs, and there's a bar, there's a little dance floor in the corner, and there seems to basically, it looks like just like college students sitting there being insecure about stuff. Lots of people in here are metatypes, and certainly lots of both trolls and orcs that generally are not seen too much. Like there's a disproportionate amount of them, basically, compared to the general populace.
Is the raccoon called Little Brother?
Maybe it's the guy doesn't say. The raccoon sits there nicely, fine, not really moving a whole lot. Could be a wakened raccoon, who knows? He's just sitting there with the guy. Probably its guy.
If I gave it a Snickers, would it tell me its name?
I suppose, sure, it would stand there looking at the raccoon.
It's a tanuki! She'd be like, ooh.
Your characters, would any of your characters know what an awakened animal is?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
Right,
Possibly.
awakened
Usually, at
animals
least.
I probably read
Or-
about it online.
are animals who are astrally awakened. They can see spirits, they can interact with spirits, some of them can even go into spirit form. They are not exactly like human level intelligence, but they are smarter and understand things that humans do not. It is the ability animals have to sort of foretell and leave an area before an earthquake. It is that, but a lot more powerful. Sort of a sixth sense sort of thing, and generally you interact well with them if you follow their totem, because they themselves also seem to follow the guidelines of that totem. A little bit of time goes. Like, how do you spent your time you're just awkwardly standing here looking at people like they're weird?
No.
Sure, I would like to.
I think you muted yourself halfway
Oh,
through.
oops. Sure, I would sit down on one of these pillows. Look at that little tanuki.
A little puff of dust sort of comes out when you sit on.
That's fine.
Thymara will just
Ziegler. Go ahead.
Oh, that was it.
Ziegler, he respects the power of these people. He doesn't understand it, and so he is mildly uncomfortable around this. There's no technology, there's nothing here that he could understand to him. So he'll be fairly awkward standing around here, I think. Maybe if the bar is open, he'll go there and have something to drink.
Sure, it's open. There's like a college student in there. It's in the other room where the probably hermetic mages are hanging out. The first room is sort of a very shamanistic, sort of a little dirty, grimy area. Lots of animals probably come there, hang out. While the last room there is more what you expect from a cafe sort of environment.
Oh, sure. He'll go and get something from the cafe.
He's most likely the oldest person by quite a margin in there.
Oh, yeah. And droids following him.
Yeah, they would like offer, he can like get a beer or something.
Oh, sure.
Like a very fruity drink if he wants.
No.
Well, I would like to add that Chivalry would be very polite and bow to the man with the tanuki before.
Sure, he's eyes closed and just sitting there,
Oh, okay.
completely still, with like the tea, smelling it. Whatever it is, drugs, who knows?
Oh, okay. I thought he was looking at us weirdly. Well, if
Nope,
not,
that's
we'll
a
just-
raccoon.
He's not. The
Raccoon
raccoon
is
is
looking
looking
at
at you. It is watching you, but
I would-
he's not. Maybe he's looking through the raccoon. Who knows? Like, who knows with these people?
I like to share how the Japanese see. They have this trickster raccoon, and I'm not sure why. I haven't read all about why the tanuki has big balls, but it does.
That's very Japanese.
It's a very old legend, so I don't know for sure why it has big balls, but it does.
Mhm.
But it is a legend about a trickster raccoon.
True warrior contemplates her
It's kind of
her
like,
heritage, looking at the raccoon. Raccoon looks back,
well, this is
contemplating
probably
her
not a
its own heritage.
this is probably not a tanuki on this
It's
brown.
the kind of raccoon you would expect to find in a trash can somewhere.
Then it's not the same. These are gray.
The raccoon
you know,
is
she'll still be like-
the raccoon is a city shaman totem, rather than a traditional totem. Meaning it's one of the totems that have emerged after sort of 20 years or so after the awakening, where cities, according to some at least, are beginning to have their own spirits and such. Like you can have a car spirit or an asphalt spirit now, which you couldn't past. The newest, of course, of that is, people say, technomancers, is the spirits of the Matrix that have their own magic and that sort of thing. But that's all illegal. That's very illegal. It's bad. Not allowed. If you see a technomancer, call the police. And they'll be catched and fetched up, and
How would we
who
know
knows what happens to them.
How would we know if it's a technomancer?
If he touches your computer and magically makes code move out of the screen to form like a computer program in physical form.
That's really cool.
That's very legal.
Talk about
How would-
object
How would we
programming.
know if it's a decker or a technomancer?
Because daggers don't do magic. Well, some
Don't they, though?
It's kind of magical.
anyway, you just sort of, anyone else doing anything? Just standing there.
No.
hanging
As
out.
I said, as I wrote that, Ashley goes to the bar, takes a place, tries something which she hasn't had before. Sure, there's something.
All right, fruity college drink.
Ugh.
Fair enough.
Shooter
Very
side
sugary, tastes like soda, basically. But there's a little alcohol in there, probably. Doesn't seem to be the kind of bar where you get smashed, generally. The conversation here is sort of very... None of you probably understand what they're talking about. They probably go to, like, the university or something like that, studying sort of awakened, hermetic, magic. Probably why they're here right now, because they are too young to have day jobs.
How the hell old are you, kid? Like that kind of like.
They're probably
Yeah.
like, 17, 18, thereabouts.
Shouldn't you be in school?
As she's doing her best to just relax, treat this like any other situation, and just chill a little bit. She has been in an unfamiliar situation before. It's an unfamiliar places. The gang sent her to some really awkward spots before, so
There's apparently no connection in here.
she's not expecting such.
Yep.
She's just, doing the physical hanging out for once, which is odd for her.
Yeah. They don't have a local network, as it is.
She was fully expecting this coming here.
Like you go in there, your phone just goes to like one bar, something like that.
But not grandmother's house.
All right. Well, eventually, someone comes down a stair from the side, basically like an employee-only sign is next to it. It has there's no door. There's just like hanging lines of beads. I don't remember what you call it in English, but